and so many people are saying that maybe it's the best Afcon ever because of the unbelievable results, the uncertainty of knowing who will win a match, goals being scored after the 90 minutes. And I cannot also start saying about this competition without giving a small touch to the coaches. Something changed with our coaches, because today we see teams, African teams, going to this competition, not being afraid to fight until the last whistle of the referee to win the match. They are not holding results, they really want to win. And this is a game changer I think in African football. I want to speak a little bit about this team that is here today to share with you some information. This team is being trained for a long time. They are with us for a long time. We are putting in place a platform with stats of all the matches, with inside performance analysis of all the matches that are also tools that they use to do their reports. They work every day. They see all the matches, because at the end they are supposed to deliver reports of all the matches to our department that will after be the material, the teaching material that will be shared with you all, media, national associations, in a post-Afcon conference that will be held with the grace of God in the country that organized the Afcon in the future month. Then to start, I want to tell you it's amazing to be in this competition. It's amazing to see how the matches are going, and I will not go into details because I know that each of my TSGs have something to speak about, a topic to speak about, and if I say it, I will ruin everything. Then I hope this will be a very nice time with you all, and that we can again achieve the goals that we are expecting to hear from this wonderful team of TSG. Thank you so much. Anti-doping, refereeing, and coaching education. And at the end, this is like the core of the organization and development of football in Africa in general. When we came to this competition, one of our biggest worries was the weather. We knew we will find a country that was hot, also very, very humid, and more or less all the venues are in the same altitude. But anyway, we put in place a program to measure the temperature at daylight and at night, and I want to tell you that there is two kinds of measurements. There is the WBGT that is done when there is light, meaning it can be done during the day, and there is the heat index, that is when at night, that it measures the humidity and the temperature only. The WBGT will also include the temperature, the light, the humidity, and the wind. And what we have is that we have clear criteria to do when the temperature is above 28 degrees. And we implemented the cooling breaks that can be once in each half. It can be one in only one half, because the temperature can completely change, the weather can completely change during the match. And in very, very, very high conditions, we can even go to 2 cooling breaks per half. But until now, thank God, we didn't have any issues with that. But going to the detail of the influence of the weather in the performance of the players, is that now what we are doing is that we are collecting all the data. We are measuring the temperature 90 minutes before the match, 60 minutes before the match, 15 minutes before the match, and in halftime. Why? Because after that we will measure the temperature with the performance of the players and see how the temperature really impacted the players' performance. Playing at 2 o'clock, playing at 5, and playing at 8 also, what was the implication of these different temperatures in the performance of the players. I want to tell you, for example, that in Côte d'Ivoire, at night, when it gets like close to 7:30, the humidity goes from 50 to 60% to almost 90, okay? The soil is receiving all the heat of the sun, and when the sun goes off, it gets fresher up, and the heat that comes from the soil makes the humidity go up like crazy, meaning that even at night, we had to put in place the cooling breaks because we saw that the players were losing a lot of water during the play. Another amazing thing that we noticed is that coaches before, they never had an opportunity to speak with the players, but on halftime. And we realized that, and we are also studying that, is that the cooling breaks, they take 2 minutes. It's the same as assisting a player when he's injured. It's the same or even less than a checking of a VAR. But we are giving also the opportunity for the coaches at minute 25, 30 and 60 to 75 to also correct some situations of the game itself. Then even technically, cooling breaks end up being a wonderful tool. Then this is the kind of things that we are doing. We are collecting now a lot of data to after compare with the performance data and then come up with a clear idea of what will be the future in regards to the weather implication in the performance of the players. Because even if we have to, after propose different kind of schedules for the matches, we can do so, but we have a clear idea of what it is to organize a competition in the West Africa and the implication that it has on the players. I think that in regards to humidity and weather is what I can say. I don't know. I will tell you that developing, enhancing the quality of our football will always impact in the quality of our performance in the future. I remember that when I went to CAF, it was 2018, we were ending a World Cup in 2018 where 5 teams were out in the group stage. And there was a conference in Morocco about discussing how could we improve our teams in a way that the World Cup 2022 would be completely different. And there was a lot of measures put in place, investing in our youth competitions, increase the number of players in our youth competitions, women competitions, and so on. But the biggest, I think, investment of CAF was on coaching education. And the truth is that we went to a World Cup 2022, and we saw a major improvement of all our teams that were represented there. Today we are in Afcon, where we are seeing teams performing a very high level. We spoke about consistency. It's true. Today we see a team getting a red card, and we don't see the coach immediately making substitution to defend. He keeps the plan that he had before, and he will try to keep the team balanced. He will try to have the team pressuring, medium, high block, because he don't want to defend close to his goal. He wants still to have the opportunity to score and to win the match. And we saw this during this competition, meaning that for me, it's clear that if the quality of our teams is increasing, the way that we will be performing in the international level, and I say international level because it's not only FIFA competitions, I think it will be in general, in youth and senior, women, whatever categories we are talking about, of course it will impact on the quality of our teams. And I think that even the teams that normally are in these competitions, that today they feel pressured by teams like, I will not say names, but so-called smaller teams, they have also to go home and rethink what they are doing and try to come up with a better plan and prepare themselves differently, meaning that at the end, it's a win-win situation. Everybody will win with this wonderful Afcon that we are living. Thank you. South Africa is a case of, yes, a proof that we can work in our countries to develop our players and use our players in our leagues, but we must make our leagues competitive enough for them to be able to progress and be the best, because I believe that the only way that we can develop players is making them playing against the best players. And also I think that there you have another point, that is, when you have a national team that is based on a good also national team, that I think is the case of South Africa. Most of the players are coming from one team. It makes them know themselves very well, meaning that they will be stronger, like we had the case of Al Ahly during a lot of years in Africa, where the team was very strong. The national team was based on this team, and of course they were also very strong in regards to the national team. But you are right. I believe that if all the countries now invest like they are investing in their own player development and coaching development, our teams will be stronger, and it doesn't matter where they are coming from, we'll have very strong teams competing in the Afcon.
And sorry, Raul, if you could add maybe a little bit on his question on the diaspora, because that's also interesting. African football has changed a lot in the last 20 years, with more and more players being European-born and brought into the African sides. But his question, a very clever one, about he has a team with nobody from the diaspora. Do you see that as a positive or a negative?
Of course, for us, it's a big positive. Normally, a player that is trained abroad and brought to Africa will not contribute for our development at all. They come, they play, and they go. We are not getting anything from them. Then what I think that we should do is really invest in development of our own players and create competitions that will keep them here as much as possible. And then, of course, if we cannot compete with European teams, we will do the opposite. That is, let them go, progress, and then come back and represent our teams. But I think the key is to invest in the growth and development of our football in each of our MAs. This is maybe the best performance of refereeing in any of our competitions at all. There's no doubt at all. You are the only person that I'm listening saying that this is very bad. But anyway, just to explain to you, you are speaking about the case of Sadio Mane. I will not go into details. I will not enter in speaking about details of one specific action in one match. But to tell you that refereeing, they are being prepared for this competition for almost 2 years. Most of the referees that are in this competition are the best that we have in Africa, and most of them are very young because they are being prepared, and the first competition that they did was the CHAN. They are in this competition separated from everybody. They are all in one hotel, they are trained, and they go to the venues to do the refereeing, and then they come back to their hotel. There's no contact from our referees with anybody else but the team that works with them. They are very well prepared to perform their work with the VAR, and today a referee that doesn't have VAR in their countries will have a lot of difficulties to work and referee in our continent, because refereeing with VAR, it's a very difficult task, because the communications are all the time on. And if you don't train, you will be confused. Then to tell you that what CAF is doing is, as much as possible, give them the best conditions to work and work like hell with them. We do trainings, we do courses, we are with them all the time. We speak about ethics, we speak about performance, and they know one thing today in refereeing. You must be at the highest level, because we are not just interested in be good referees in Africa. We want our referees tomorrow to go as much as possible to the finals of World Cups, to the finals of European competitions, and even exchange, if we can exchange with other confederations. Then our goal is really to put African refereeing in a very high level. Then, of course, that we still in Africa don't believe in our referees. We still think that they are corrupt, that they are doing bad things behind, they are doing things that they shouldn't, because maybe we had a history that is not maybe the best of the best. But I'm telling you is what I know, is that refereeing in this competition are being at a very high level. I am very happy and very proud of refereeing in this competition, and I hope, because things are being done to enhance their performance, their physicality, their understanding of the game, because this is what we have to do to make sure that the referees will be at the highest level. It make them the best of the best, train with the best, and come to the matches and perform very well. Then this is the only thing that I can answer to you. Also to tell you that VAR, they can only intervene in 3 actions in football. And that sometimes you think that the VAR didn't analyze a play, but they analyze all the plays that they have to analyze. When you see a referee saying, wait, he is waiting for the VAR to confirm some action. Then all the actions are reviewed, and only after confirmation the match continues. Then sometimes you don't see the referee going to the VAR, running to see. He only goes there if there is a misunderstanding between the referee and what the VAR is telling him that he should see. And then he will go there to confirm. But all action, all goals, for example, and you saw already in this competition some goals being scored, and then after we will see that there was an offside or any other action that was not clear, then the goal will not be considered. It's because all goals, they are recheck until they see that everything was clear, and then they tell the referee, you can proceed, it's a goal. Then I'm telling you, the level of refereeing in this competition is really very high, very, very high. Thank you.